never know when another forum is going to come up. I do know elections Tuesday, and I appreciate people who voted. I appreciate people who come out to early vote. Don't forget early voting ends on Friday, folks. And I checked last Saturday, my District 6 residents that I've spoken with, and I know I've spoken to more than 300. As of last Saturday, 370 people in District 6 have voted.
Oh, that's good.
I know this is the week for everybody to turn it up. So when you vote this week in early voting, please vote for Stephanie Johnson, the first name on the list for District 6 Commissioner.
Okay.
I'm gonna work hard for you.
So I want to ask you, wow, you know, I've been to a lot of your forums and stuff, and I do support you because I think that you will help make I mean, the stuff that we are facing right now in our community, I think that you could be the one to make the change. You're very knowledgeable of the stuff that's goes on in the community and stuff. I want to ask you a couple of questions, but the first thing I want to ask you, how do you feel about this homeless situation here in Athens, Georgia? How do you feel about that?
Well, there's a couple of different ways to look at it. I feel that our community, our county leadership has not notified us to say we want to fix it or we want to manage it. And from there, we can make changes. We can actually develop a plan. We can't develop a plan if they don't tell us what they want to do. What is the goal? How many strategic plans do we need?
Yeah.
How much federal dollars do we need to throw at an entity, to throw at a nonprofit, to do this and to do that without a plan? That money's not going to last forever, and that's the travesty in the whole big picture. Because homeless will still be here, and it will be
exactly.
When ARPA funds are gone, it's going to be still here, and it's going to be higher. And we have not come up with a solution. I believe it's solution-focused work.
Okay.
So I was out in the Tallahassee Road area with 5 or 6 volunteers. We were canvassing, door knocking, trying to meet as many people in the community as we could to let them know about the election and also about me running. And there were 2 or 3 people out of about 300 homes, and we were out there all day, and that asked me this: are you the Black Republican? Are you the Black Republican or the Black Democrat? Now I know for a fact I'm not spreading that rhetoric. But I know that the Democratic Party is, and as you know, I did not receive their endorsement. But I said, ma'am, one, there's an alignment of black and black. We're very different.
I don't understand that.
It's okay if you're a Republican, but technically, I am a registered Democrat.
Right.
And I'm not the Black Republican. And so stop telling people that. And and you saw the video from, I'm sure, from the Democrats meeting. It fell apart with what they were going to try.
I actually listened to the majority. I posted the video. I actually listened to the majority of the people in the Democratic Party say that they was wrong. The other half was wrong.
Some followed me to the car. But here's the thing that I'm surprised about, but not really. So at the end of the meeting, the opponent came over to me and hugged my neck and said, this is a lot of drama. I'm not here for the drama. Let's leave our election up to the ballot box. I was committed to that. I was committed to that on November 12th, though. I didn't need anybody to tell me that. Let's be fair and leave it up to the ballot box. But what really struck me as curious is this person, my opponent, is witnessing these people attempt to tear me up, to eviscerate me, and they are quiet. And that person, my opponent, accepted the endorsement. Like, if you want to leave it up to the ballot box, why do you want to be involved with people who are hateful, who tell mistruths, who outright lie, and try to publicly shame and embarrass me? Now, I ain't scared. I'm not scared, but at the same time, I was just really surprised that why do you want their endorsement? If you see how they're behaving, they're showing you who they are. Why do you want their endorsement?
When you know you're the right person, this is how you know when you got the right people running for the right thing. When you see a person getting constantly attacked by a different sector of people, then you know this is the right person for the job.
And I don't mess with nobody.
And you don't. And you're real respectful. You even allowed me to come in your little space this morning. You're real respectful, man. And I just want to tell you, man, I appreciate. So Stephanie Johnson is running for District 6 Commissioner. What area do that cover again, so people know?
District 6 is Southwest Athens. It starts with Creekside Manor off 78, Stonehenge, Tall Tree, Double Gate, Ridge Point Cottages, the Jennings Mill Parkway area, Sam's Club area, Atlanta Highway Corridor, the neighborhoods on the other side of the mall, all the neighborhoods down Cleveland Road, and then you're going to drive down Mitchell Bridge Road. It does not include Mitchell Bridge nor Westchester. So you're going to make that left at the Shell station right there. Was it 2 Shell stations? You're going to make the left on Tallahassee, go around the roundabout. You're going to go past, I think, 2 subdivisions. And once you pass Sedgeville, you're back in District 6. So it's Lavender Glen, Lavender Road, Merlin Drive, Kings Circle, Brittany Place, and all of those areas in that community. And then if you come back down to the roundabout and go up Whitehead Road, Chaz Walk, Quailwood, half of Whitehead Road, finish out Whitehead Road, take Whitehead Road to Jefferson Road. So Jefferson Road, starting at that medical complex, UCBC, all the way out.
Have you met with any of those people in those areas? Well, I see it on your page. I know. I see. I just wanted you to tell that. I see.
Let me show you the data. This is the data. I mean, you see all this right here? This is the data. So when I said at my lunch party on March 4th, I think I said on March 4th, I want to be busy every day, because I want to show you now that I'm willing to work for you.
And I think that's a good thing too, that you got so much experience with this stuff. You don't have to wait a year to get prepared to start doing work. You can actually win this race and go start working the next day.
Absolutely. And I have perspectives from my people I've grown up with, the neighborhoods I've lived in, the people I've spoken with in the neighborhoods and subdivisions. I've met with almost every homeowners association or neighborhood association that would allow me to come in and speak with them. And then I also have a perspective of doing my homework. When I'm up in the neighborhoods walking with the sheets, I'm also noting what the streets look like. I'm also noticing how many street lights they have or don't have. And also I'm noticing, do they have sidewalks or do they need them? You know, then I go back to the SPLOST list and I look like, is it supposed to be, was it on the SPLOST list? You know,
okay.
You know, here's the thing, I prepared all this. I got, you know, as I mentioned in one interview, I have like 5-inch binders for different categories, but you got to keep up with yourself. This information can be overwhelming. And I think some commissioners have not been successful because they allow themselves to be overwhelmed. This job is not for the faint of heart. You got to be willing to work hard. So why not do the hard work now while I'm running?
I want to ask you, in District 6, and I don't stay in District 6,
but I didn't finish. It was Jefferson Road, Jefferson River Road, Garnet Ridge, half of Benson Drive.
Okay, half of Benson Drive.
Half of Benson Drive. Like after you pass Holland Park and Chesterton, the rest of Benson Drive is District 6 and Derricott Road.
Oh. If you took a commissioner seat today, what is the first thing that need to be changed immediately in District 6 that you see?
In District 6, oh, that's a tough one for just District 6. But District 6, we have some older communities that need the basics. We're not talking about extras. They need the basics. It's almost, has anyone come out here to look at the condition of the...
Have they been neglected, like District 6?
They look neglected. I mean, they literally look. When I actually say, when I'm out there taking notes, I'm taking notes when the Central Services MO team come out there. This is supposed to be on a schedule. Are they here every 7 weeks like they say? You know, because their right-of-ways, the ingress, the egress, I mean, you have to pull out almost in the road to be able to get out. That's one thing, but also District 6 needs a park. District 6, there's no outdoor park space. I mean, we have all the greenways and spaces in town, inside the loop, and in some areas and pockets. But District 6, we have no place to get out and play. We have no place to take our kids and family to sit, to barbecue, to hang out.
Stonehenge. Is Stonehenge District 6 too?
Stonehenge District 6, yes. If Stonehenge needs me. Stonehenge, I've been over there at least three times in the last 4 weeks. You know, because you always meet different people. Everybody ain't home at the same time, so you have to go back. And please select, if you want hard work, someone you can reach, someone that's going to call you back, someone that's not going to show up every 4 years. I commit to that. I'm not going to be that once every 4 year person. Hold me accountable. I want you to. You'll have my contact information. I will hold regular meetings, and I will send out newsletters. At the end of the day, you have to tell me to stop. I don't want no information, Stephanie Johnson. Just, I got enough information. But I want you to know what's going to happen to you for those critical votes before they happen. And now that's what I will let you know about. But Stephanie Johnson, the first name on the list for District 6 election on the ballot.
For everybody that's following me, Athens needs you. We need you in that seat because we know once you get there, you're going to make things better for our community. We ain't got to worry about if you plan to meet with a contractor to tear down black people houses and build student house. We ain't got to worry about things like that. Like you helped create another Lennon town. We ain't got to worry about stuff like that. So stay focused.
Like about politics, people say, well, you're a politician now. I'm not that person who's disingenuous, who just shows up at the 11th hour to do popcorn and hot dogs. I mean, that would have, I've been doing that since February. I mean, not popcorn and hot dogs per se, but what I'm saying is, it is very disingenuous. It looks like you're trying to buy a vote, and it's not sincere. And we need people who sincerely care about us.
That's
our
right.
People.
That's
and
right.
We have a few in our office right now, but we have more people who care about the next level, where they're going next, what they're going to do.
So don't get distracted. I'm telling you this because it's too close. So I want you to stay focused because a lot of us depend on, believe it or not, you got a load on your back that you wouldn't understand. The peoples in Athens need you, and we are all riding on your back to make sure that we elect you and get you in that seat. Because
we have something to offer, and it's not a personal boutique project.
Correct.
We all have our talents in different ways. Like I am unafraid to ask tough questions. Necessary everywhere. You know, before we get bike lanes, we need to get sidewalks in these communities.
Yeah.
Before we get bike lanes, we need to get street lights in these communities. You know, it's not necessarily everywhere, but certainly it is in town for some communities.
So when I'm just curious to know before I cut this off. I'm curious, in your private time, your private space, because it seems like you're always working for the community, and that's good. Don't get me wrong, that's good. That the community need to see that. You always work. I wish I could see what your opponent doing right now, but it seems like you're always working for the community. But in your personal time, tell the people what Stephanie like. What do Stephanie like?
I enjoy spending time with my husband, but he works a lot too. He's a police officer, as you all know. Mm-hmm. But I thoroughly enjoy gardening. It's like my passion. This afternoon, I'm going to actually pick up the pickup truck and take it over and get a load of dirt. Get a load of compost and that right dirt with the nutrients and the minerals to actually redo my front yard, the garden part of my front yard. So I do enjoy that. I find it relaxing. It's hard physical work, but after the mental toll that you go throughout the day, it's a welcome respite. It's a welcome distraction, you know, to get out there and get dirty, and then you can't focus on the problems. You can't focus on the things that, you know, bother you. And it really is, by surprise, it's very relaxing. And what I most enjoy about it is you see the effects of God through gardening. You put a seed in and you see a plant grow. It's also capable, and I know that I am, but we are very different people. We think very differently. So it's not a scenario where people are going to be like, oh, one and the same. No, we're not going to come to the table with an agenda. That's the thing. What we all have individually said, I've heard us, because, you know, in our forums, I pay attention. We've all individually said it's about the people and the constituents in my district that I'm concerned about, which is what I said, and I just said, you know, with people over politics every day. That's what the forums do. The forums introduce you to people who come out to see us, to hear what our platforms are, and they're busy. But what happens is we are only allowed a certain amount of time to answer a question. And in order to stay in time, we have to be generic. So you really don't know nothing. You did not come and learn anything more about me than if you had stayed at home. And that's a disservice. I don't think that debates they have to be contentious, and I don't think that you have to be argumentative. A debate is shortened and it's focused. Maybe just by the race. So District 6 have their debate, this week, and it may be just 30 minutes. And it may be the top 3 questions submitted by the people, not the organizers. The top 3 questions submitted by the people, and then you have 10 minutes between the two to talk about it. You list and state, your position. 1, 2, what facts you have to back it up. 3, your long-term suggestions for success, improve, if it's going to work or not, and then the other person say it's not going to work because of X, Y, Z. That's where you delineate, and you can say, I understand it, I heard the question, I understand it, and I know how to execute a solution, versus just, chatter. Because we've only, like I said, nothing against any organizer, because at least we put our face out there, but it's just people who really want to make a decision. And like I have a lot of, if you look at my list, I have a lot of views that are undecided, and we just don't have time to go back to all the undecideds, but they're undecided because there has not been a forum this season to separate